Hey, young historians, Mr. Moran here, and today we're going to learn about our first Constitution. Yes, it's not what we have today, but our first Constitution was known as the Articles of Confederation. So, as a new nation, the United States of America was not only waging a war against the most powerful nation on earth while fighting for independence, but these leaders, we call them the founders, also had a huge task at hand. How and what kind of government to establish? Not an easy question, especially while you're trying to fight a war. But the founders knew that this new government would, number one, not have a powerful central government. This is where one all-powerful government tells the states what they can and cannot do, and the states lose much of their power. In this time period, the states kind of thought of themselves as almost like independent nations. And so there was this like just a group of people kind of bound together to fight the British. Number two, not only not to have one person to have much of the power, kind of like a king. They knew, hey, we don't want someone telling us what we can and can't do. Number three, not to have a central government taxing them. They didn't mind taxes, and sometimes Americans get this mixed up, saying that the early Americans, they opposed all taxes. That's not true. What they opposed was sending their taxes off to someplace far, far away. In their states, or even before that, the colonies, they had taxes, and they didn't mind paying for that because that was local government, and they could direct how they're going to spend their money. Number four, they wanted a government to represent the needs and wants of the United States when visiting other nations. So they wanted one person or a group of people to represent the United States when they went out to negotiate treaties. But the founders did create this new government, which was very different from the government we have today. The Constitution for this new government was known as the Articles of Confederation. So what you're going to learn today is you're going to view a short video, and you'll be able to describe one positive and one negative aspect of the Articles of Confederation. And what you're going to do is you're going to view a short video, and then you're going to create two tweets. Yes, I know tweets weren't around back then, but you know, this is Mr. Rand's history, so we can do this. One tweet that will list one negative aspect or one negative part about the Articles of Confederation and your reasoning for it being bad. Then another tweet that lists one positive aspect of the Articles of Confederation and your reasoning for why it's good. And I will have a template below so you can kind of just fill in the blanks there. And the video for the Articles of Confederation is right here. And when you view this video, it's going to take you to like another school's webpage, which is okay. And as you view this video, there's some key terms that you'll need to know. They'll reference this thing called the European Union, and also known as the EU. And this is currently in Europe today. The nations of Europe agreed to act like one nation, such as people can freely travel from one nation to another, and they use the same currency, and they have same laws. But the nations retain their own governments and leaders. So the EU is an example of confederation. I've been in Europe, and it's kind of like when we drove from Germany to France, and from France to Spain. It was kind of like driving from Oregon to Washington, you know, just crossing Columbia River. There's no passports, there's nothing. They will also reference this term called inflation. Inflation is when the value of something like money declines because demand declines. In this case, inflation of money happens when a government prints too much money. Since there is too much money, the value of money drops. Think of this like trading cards. Like baseball cards, or maybe some of you, when you're little, you have Pokemon cards, right? And those rare cards are more valuable because so many people wanted them, right? You have a small number of them, but a big demand, right? And I know in Pokemon cards, because my sons, they're quite older now, but when they were younger, there were like those water cards and those fire cards. You had tons of them, right? And they were not very valuable because you got a lot of them in those packets, right? The cards that are not rare are valuable because everybody can easily get them or already have them. Important note, the video states that the only accomplishment of the Articles of Confederation was the Northwest Ordinance. But there's a very important accomplishment that everyone forgets, and that is this was the kind of government we had while we were waging war against Great Britain, and we defeated Great Britain, which in itself is a huge accomplishment. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask your teacher, or you can visit me during my office hours. So have a great day and have fun. Bye.